Now, seeing we looked at that trapping of the arm, the key lock from that Kesa Gatame position, we're going to look some variations off of that. Number one thing that I like to do is get a hold of that guillotine choke. All right? This isn't a place that people are normally guillotined, so it can be a big surprise. The important thing is that we manage space well so that we can get our arm in tight around the neck, but more importantly that when I roll up, my body rolls up on the face, far away from the hips where the power of their bridge is, and you're going to find that there are a lot of different ways to finish this guillotine and that the entry is very tight to the neck. So, Fred, we're in that Kesa Gatame position. He has his hands nice and tight. I try to feed this hand in, right? With my body this way, you can go palm up and feed that arm in. When I feed that arm in, I'm going to use my hips lightly. You see when I push on the elbow, elevates his wrist, and I get nice and tight control. There are a lot of different ways to get here, and all of this series comes from this position right here, right? So you can see that his wrist is underneath my armpit, or the arm, it doesn't matter. Now I want this arm trapped between my legs. There are a lot of different options here. You know, a lot of times they'll be ready for me to sit through and baseball slide or do the step over arm bar. And so while they're thinking about that, I'm going to bring my hand back. And you can see I've tucked my knee in. That gives me the ability to shear his arm down my leg and then feed it to the inside. Now, it won't always go all the way down the leg. Sometimes when it comes out here, you can bring your leg back and come over top. It's just about getting the arm fed between the legs, all right? I would say that out of all of the ways, probably this is the most common, taking my leg away. Now we need to make space, or make use of the space underneath the head. You see that my knee is tight underneath the shoulder, and that keeps his head up off the floor. At least it makes it more comfortable for him to keep his head off the floor. If you have a lot of space here and the shoulders are on the floor, you're going to see that there's a lot of space, or excuse me, there's not a lot of space, and we might have to do things differently. You can just grab here at the shoulder, lift up, and bring that knee underneath. Now you can see it's very difficult for him to get his head to the floor. We're going to make use of that space underneath the head. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my arm underneath the bowl, and I'm going to roll my body up, my rib cage on top of the space. As I do that, my arm's going to extend under here all the way around the neck. Okay? So I come here and I roll my body up onto his face. You see that he's turned his face this way so his face doesn't get smashed. It doesn't change anything about the move if they don't, but you're going to find that it's very comfortable when their face is turned because it exposes this whole side of the neck. So I'm here, watch how my body comes up. I'm going to use my rib cage tight here. Now, come on over here, Mr. Reynolds. No, stay right here. You okay? So this space right here, I need my hand to come through. It's going to slide up, and we're going to catch it in that grip right here, almost like the seatbelt grip. So I'm here, the arm comes through, I've rolled my body up on the face, and I get good control here. Now I can finish right here, or I can start walking my leg over and finish here. You have to be careful because it separates the chin from the body, and it's terrible, right? It feels like your face is going to explode. It's a great option. Let's look at it again from that same position. So I came in nice and tight, I slid that hand through, my arm comes up nice and tight. Here, I'm shearing it down my own leg over top. I want my knee underneath the body. So I'm going to start to come up. Now watch how my body turns, my rib cage catches the face. My arm comes between our two bodies. You can see his arm is trapped right here, nice and tight, and a lot of times I'll finish right here. If I can't finish here, I'll come over into mount, I'll finish, or if he starts to bridge and come up, finish. You're going to find it looks a little bit goofy, right? Does it feel goofy?
It's terrible.
Feels like your life's ending. Let's look at it again one more time, okay? So I'm tight, try to get that arm in, sheared, right? Up, control. Hand by the wrist, down and under. Want him up on top of my knee. My arm starts to come over, watch how my rib cage turns tight, and I bring that arm between the bodies. From here, if you want to bring the arm away, that'll help tighten everything up. Super tight, right?
Yes, sir.
Terrible that done to you.